Hey, I'm Patrick with Rowdy Restorations. Today, we're back out here at the shop. I've got a project I'm bringing to you that we actually got tackled earlier this summer, but with all the tractor shows and traveling we did, I haven't got around to getting it out to y'all. But we're getting around to it now, so hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm going to throw it in a Around the Farm playlist too that I'm creating, even though this place is a far cry from a farm. But it'll basically just be the projects that we get done around here at the shop and stuff. So if you guys enjoy that and you like seeing me struggle through some of this stuff, just let me know. I've got plenty more that we got to get done. So stay tuned. So we're up here above the storage lot today, getting ready to tackle a project. Tree removal time. The neighbors are doing some grading up here and they've got it all tore up, so now's the prime time to get these trees taken down. They tend to cause us a lot of grief down here on the lot, and plus now there's no buffer for the wind from them, and we're worried about them falling down on our stuff. We keep the closed-in trailer down there with all the lawn and gardens in it, and that canopy's got a bunch of tractors underneath it. So anyhow, got a crew coming in to help with this. Back in the day, this was the kind of project that we would tackle ourselves. Did quite a few of them in our time, a little tree removal, and we got some white pines over here that we'll have to take down. But I don't have the same crew I used to now. So Kyle, if you're listening, and Woodchuck, if you're listening, Brandon too, we could have got this knocked out pretty easily, but since you guys aren't here, I got somebody coming in to do the cutting, and another friend of mine's here with his equipment, and we're gonna get it all knocked out. Here's a view from down below of what we're trying to tackle. See, we've already got the top blew out of one of those trees, probably during Helene, and it's laying up on another tree in there, so that's why we want this stuff out of here. But anyways, the crew is here now. Looks like they're throwing ropes in the trees, getting ready to start pulling them, so I'm gonna head up top to help with the cleanup. Nothing like last minute repairs. This grapple here can fall off of the skid steer if you're not careful, hence how these got bent. And hopefully I can tighten those up and they'll still work, but I think I have spare hoses if not. And they can fall off because this is worn. So I'm just going to put these plates down here to keep the dogs engaged good and let her rip. Hopefully that'll work there. I hear some saws running up there, so hopefully sounds like those guys might be here, so we'll need to get up there and give them a hand. I'll try to grease this real quick. guys remember the day of hand-pumped grease guns? Man. It looks like that'll still need some fine tuning, but I'm pretty sure I can get through this project that we got to do right now and then put it off a few more years and then fine tune it later. Seems to be the way it goes. All right. Back up in operation. Should be able to get this done. I think what I need to do is down there where the locks go in, I need to build it out so they lock tighter, because the skid steer plate can move like this inside. I mean, this is just a cheap grapple, but it's served me well for many, many, many years. You can see we've used it for a minute. I mean, we're not exactly easy on it, but okie doke. Well, I guess we'll get up there and start getting this tree project done. Well, here goes the first tree. I'm out here the next day getting this burn pile sorted out some, try to get some of this dirt out of it. All I've got to say, this is my buddy's machine, but y'all that have these brand new machines here to run, I'd say are spoiled a little bit. This thing's got Bluetooth and the radio's built right into it. Talk on the phone through your Bluetooth. It's nice and quiet. I'm not crazy about some of the options. There's a few options that I don't really like, but I think I got the auto throttle thing figured out a little bit better. But I guess, as with all the new stuff, they're real nice until they break down. But what do you do? I'm going to sort through this stuff and stack it aside and then get all the logs put up on there. Backwards from what I want to run it, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. I'm just not used to it. I guess it kind of makes sense. Down is closed. Alright, so all the trees are down. I'm going to come up here and cut some of these stumps off closer to the ground just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And I don't know what we're going to do after that. Obviously we'll stand the fence back up, but I'm not sure what we'll do. If we'll plant some cypress up here or put a bigger fence, or maybe nothing. Piles about burn up, so that's good. Okie doke. Be back in a minute. Well, we're back on the lot cleanup project. Blake got that bank weed eated and I cut the stumps down up there. It's about a week later and the crew is supposed to be here to take these pine trees down. Need to get those darn things out of the way. They make an awful mess of the stuff up here. So hopefully we'll get those out of here today. Get some of this brush cleaned up. Both got poison ivy from working up there on those trees. I'm wondering if I got it when I was cleaning that fence off. So I think that's where it was at the most, but who knows. So hopefully the guys will be here in a few minutes and we'll get these big old dudes on the ground and get all of our junk put back, because I spent yesterday playing musical junk. I've got all the stuff that belongs up here in these spots down at the shop. Moved a little bit over here, drug that out of the corner and put it over here. I'll put it back where I got it from, because who knows when I'll be able to fool with that. And move some of this stuff over here. But anyhow, we're back out here on the storage lot cleanup the next day. The guys got the pine trees down yesterday. I hauled all the tree debris off to the burn pile, which is right there, but there's no good way to get from here to there without driving around. So we'll get all that stuff taken care of up there, and I guess the next phase is to finish cleaning all this stuff up. I'm gonna get the blower out and start blowing all the pine needles and the stuff that come off the trees into a pile, and I got to get up there and clean the vines off of the fence there. I'm pretty sure that's poison ivy or poison something or another. So get that stuff cleaned off, and then we'll get the fence put back up the rest of the way, regrade this out here, and be able to park all of our junk back in here again, because it is a mess down at the shop right now. I've had to pull all the trailers that live up here out of there, but I'm glad to have been able to get the trees down, because that's the closest thing to being able to park my trailers inside a building that I'm gonna get, if that makes any sense. Those pine trees were really trashing our stuff, especially the roof of our closed-in trailer. So anyhow, we'll continue on with this project, and hopefully you guys aren't bored to death of this by now. Got to get that big old log from up there on the other side of the fence where Dad's at. I'm gonna give the crane a try and see how it does. We'll hook you up on this other point of view too, see how that all works out. bring the clippers up here and try to get all this vines off the fence so I can burn them up.
Pull it down some and then hook it up and down that way.
No, I don't. I just, all I got to do is pick up just
Okay.
just past center with it.
I'm hung up over here.
I need to let it down more. Grab that other one. If you can. Huh. Darn it. It's probably heavier on this end.
Yeah, try to aim it that way.
I will. I will. Perfect. The crane for the win again. Man, it's nice having a crane. There. Extension. Oh, I have the grapple's on the skid steer. I can cut it up over here. I was going to set this right in the bed of the truck, but I don't need to. Just like that. big old stump. Gonna put the 2020 to work and get some grading done around here. I don't get to use this thing much anymore for doing that. Used to run it every day pretty much doing grading. Get this old forklift slid back into purgatory over here. Let me know if you guys want to see a will it start video on it or something. I'm going to strap the forks up this time though so they don't drag the gravel everywhere. I guess that's pretty much it for this project. Trees are down, cleaned up, gravel's graded, trailers are parked back, got my junk put back on the shelves. Went through and I cleaned up in here a little bit. Didn't have to do a whole lot because keep it pretty clean in there. Had to air up some tires and some of the scrap metal I have stored in here. But other than that, this project's about done. I guess to give you a bit of a reference on how long it actually takes to get stuff done around here. Poison ivy that I caught earlier in the video is gone already. So if you guys enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a dime, really helps out the channel. And then stick around to see what else we've got going on. I appreciate it. Thank you.